just got
the bottom of a bag. There we go.
Oh, because you obviously packed an overnight bag, didn't you, Gareth?
Exactly, see?
What else is in there, my friend?
Shitloads of chocolate, a shirt, a toothbrush, and about 3 litres of anal lube.
I'm adding Don now, and then I'm just gonna... What the fuck?
The Gamecentral Podcast. Hadouken!
Good evening, Sillet Bang! Wow, wow, and indeed wow. Again, it's only Game Central Podcast number 10. If only my name was Ben or Jen, then this would rhyme on a donkey mad journey to Bethlehem. That was just a taster of my new album, Dangerously Dangerous, a new semi-bionic, chronic detailing my rides so fast I could vomit. Coming to you sometime in Easter 2015 at all remaining Woolworths stores. Do you remember Woolworths? They were a bit weird, weren't they?
Yep.
Do you remember them, Gareth? They were a bit weird, weren't they?
Yeah, the only place you could buy a teddy
Woolworths
bear
is still a thing.
and gardening supplies at the same time.
Only online.
Oh, yeah. You can't get Pick and Mix online, which is a shame. But that's all they were good for.
That would be good. And that's for you. Gareth liked getting his gardening stuff, and I would have liked to pick up a few CDs. So there's not many sort of shops around that do that anyway. But I don't really remember what they did, to be honest, which is probably why they went out of business. But I do have it on good authority that next year they'll be back and making a comeback. 2015. That's not just my word, but the word of a shady businessman I spoke to on a Friday evening down an alley who said Woolworths would distribute my new album for a small fee of £1,200. But that's enough of my cynical lyrical whirlwind that's typical, and allow me to introduce you to someone with only one testicle who has never been to the Notting Hill Festival. Sadly, even though last week he consumed his own testicle live on air, Guy has made it for today's podcast. Even though he now only has one testicle, that doesn't make him any less of a man, as he wasn't much to begin with.
Wait.
When the doctors tended to his...
Oh. What?
Is someone cleaning a part of their body?
Oh, sorry.
What are you doing?
Well, it's the wound is
You
still
tuned
like
into your
the wound
phone.
is still secreting. Give me a bloody break. I gnawed my own testicle off, for fuck's sake.
My God.
Give
Can
me
I
a
carry
break.
on?
You can. It's fine. I've cleaned it.
Good. When the doctors tended to his injury using a microscope, they told him there wasn't much use in keeping any of the mangled mess and saw fit to remove it all at once. And it now resides in the London tourist attraction Ripley's Believe It or Not, next to the shrunken heads of a mysterious ancient African tribe. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to announce in public for the very first time, Guy Barbie Doll Genitalia Whitlock. Hello, Guy.
Hello.
And how is your bald little mound treating you?
Ah, it's alright. I've only been out of hospital a couple of days, but, you know.
I must
It's
say,
good,
the
I'm
photo
fine.
you
I'm
sent-
on the recovery. On the mend.
The photo you sent me was quite nice.
Yeah.
One of those real dolls.
You know, I thought some foundation would take away some of the horrific edge of the whole thing.
Of the whole, literally,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Keep the wound clean, though, mate. It is literally a nasty gash.
Well, it was dripping a minute ago. That's why I had to clean it, but he had to go at me. It's making too much noise.
You know, if you're ruffling along, you should have
Do
tended
you want me passing out halfway through the podcast again?
No, I want you to tend to your bandages and re-bandage it before we even start.
Well, it's quite a serious wound. It needs to be changed quite regularly.
It is. Right, so earlier today, Gareth told me that he may not be able to make the start of today's podcast around 7 p.m. as he was locked in his girlfriend's house. Gareth, I've told you hundreds of times, tell her to let you out of the cage when she leaves work in the morning. And if you do insist on playing Gareth the hairy, horny, sexy monkey boy hybrid till the early hours of the morning, then this is what you deserve. Many people have died as a result of kinky sex games, and if there is one person involved in this podcast I wouldn't want to die from kinky sex games, it would be you. I don't have to worry about it happening to Guy. He would actually have to have sex first. The hairy monkey has been unleashed for your entertainment today, and his name is Gareth Williams. Good evening, Gareth.
I love how you took my intro and still managed to fit a Guy diss right in the middle.
You've got to. Everything's got to insult Guy somewhere along the line. But did you have a nice evening there last night, Gareth?
Yeah, it was nice. Watched some films, watched some TV shows.
Was it tasteful?
Of course, you know what I'm like. Everything's above board.
Romantic comedies?
We watched Dallas Buyers Club, which is about AIDS. So.
Oh, that's lovely to watch just before making passionate love.
Really gets you in the mood.
It does. The fear of a disease that can take over your whole body, rendering your immune system useless. This week, I found myself in Great Yarmouth, Norfolk. I think they should rename it as the breeding ground for the Jeremy Kyle Show guests. I must admit, I am very highly charged sexual deviant, but not once did I suffer from an inappropriate erection moment, which for me is highly worrying. Such were the low calibre of women available. It was like trawling through the female members of the Gamecentral Libs Facebook group.
Of which Guy is now a member.
There we go. Just by default, as he's got no genitalia.
As I have no member.
Yeah,
Hey,
well done.
Not bad.
Photo cloning gone wrong and the results of nuclear testing. My name is Rob Walker, and like Jeremy Kyle, I will be your host this evening, talking to two toothless inbreds. Of course I joke. It's just one. So let's get on with the podcast.
Oh, great.
Great. So that's us, the Gamecentral Lives podcast squad. And what a show we have for you today. As usual, we have news from around the world of gaming. We have also our usual segments that by now have become such a close part of my life. We have guest Don Goss, who will be speaking to us about a little gaming preview he went to last week involving the BAFTAs. And we will be delving into our dark minds to try and pluck from the dark recesses what we have been playing this week. Hopefully, we'll have no flashbacks to our troubled childhoods. But anyway, on to the news. Titanfall has doubled Xbox One's sales, literally doubled them. And my source tells me, whose name is Gareth, that the percentage is something like 96%.
That was me
Gareth,
that said that.
You said that?
But it's, that is actually the figure I read, but I just don't know how accurate that figure is.
I've
I
seen
just
it.
took that it was just that it was like some quite accurate gaming information, so I just took it for granted that it was Gareth.
Oh, okay.
So, Guy, what have you been learning this week about Titanfall?
No, nothing. Let Gareth talk about it, but, you know, I don't want to talk about
You
it.
just want to take credit for the percentage.
Yeah.
It was good research, Guy, I'll give you that.
Alright, so in the week since Titanfall came out, Xbox One sales have gone up 96%. That's basically it.
Absolutely brilliant. But you're not in the 96th percentile, are you?
No, unfortunately not.
And why is that? Why didn't you go out, splashing the cash, getting that next generation console?
Well, I've got my PC, which can also play Titanfall.
But have you got it yet?
No, because I'm poor. I did ask them for a copy, but they never sent me one, which is sad. EA.
Oh, you just asked them. Can I have a copy, please?
Of course I do. I've got them in games before.
Yeah. You've got them games? Would you like to tell us about it? Is that through www.gamebanter.co.uk, the home of Game Central Lives podcast?
Funnily enough, Rob, it is, actually.
Excellent.
What games?
Let's see.
I haven't heard of that one.
Batman Arkham City. I got Battlefield 3 for PC. I got Modern Warfare 3. Got Never Dead. Is that it? A couple digital games as well.
That's good, just for asking.
Yeah, you might as well ask.
If you don't ask, you don't get.
Exactly.
That is it. So, yeah, I think that news article pretty much sums it up. That people have been waiting for a game to come out, and this seems to be the game that has got everyone literally frothing in excitement and jumping on the bandwagon to the next generation.
What about your gash? Is it any more soaked than it was last week for Titanfall, or not?
I don't think that was last week, guys.
Well, I don't know. Your mood on it seems to change every week. A few weeks ago, you wanted it to reignite your love of online gaming, and then the other week you didn't really care.
I literally thought my gash would drag me feet first to Game Shop, but it didn't. You know, I feel quite happy that it's out there, and I don't have that inscratchable itch that I normally get when I know a game's out there and that I want to play it, but I can't play it. So I think I'm just going to leave that one for now. Probably get it in a few weeks' time when it comes. It's just so much money, Guy. You know, and I'm
yeah, I know. When in
yeah.
game with my mate on Saturday, and he bought Titanfall, the season pass, and
I didn't know imaginary friends could buy a game.
yeah, they can, they can, brilliant. And Plants vs Zombies, and he spent over like 110 quid on 2 games. And I was like,
I bet he was
what?
boasting about it.
What?
Was he boasting about how much money he had?
No, he wasn't, because my imaginary friends aren't dicks. They're not like you.
There you go.
No, they don't exist. That's the difference.
Oh.
Exactly, yeah. So, Guy, you've got a friend that I'm presuming he bought Plants vs Zombies. Is that what it is? Plants.
The Garden Warfare thing.
Garden Warfare.
Yeah.
As an Xbox One retail.
Yeah.
Well, that's like £40, isn't it?
Yeah. And then Titanfall was like 50, I think, and the DLC for that was about 25, 30.
Didn't you ask him why he was basically buying a downloadable game for £40?
Is it not £40 on the Xbox store anyway?
But come on, can it justify £40? Can any kind of Plant versus Zombie game?
Yes.
Really?
Apparently it's very, very good, according to everywhere.
But the only times I've ever seen it is for like a downloadable app.
Yeah, but it's not. It's like a third-person, like squad-based shooter.
Oh dear.
It's meant to be really good. I'm not even.
Well,
I'm not going to embarrass myself.
If you could
anymore.
talk to your friend and
Right.
find out what he thinks of it, we would be interested to hear that, because I actually thought it was in the same vein as all the others.
Nope.
Can I phone now?
I can't know,
Why is that?
because I'm just not going to.
Thank you. Keep your friends to yourself.
I will.
Right, so another piece of interesting news. Last of Us won the best game at the BAFTAs 2014, which unfortunately I was unable to be involved with, which hurt me deeply.
Mm-hmm.
And last week, Last of Us, did it deserve to win, Gareth?
Yeah, of course it did. It was the best game last year.
It was, and we spoke about that on our very first podcast, didn't we, about our games?
It seems like a long time ago now, but it was only 9 episodes ago.
It was, and I think we are kind of like the bearded wizards, and we sit around because we said it was the game of the year before they did. You know, many weeks after they did.
It's true. They basically just stole our entire podcast and just put some awards.
Basically, they chose the nominees and the winners from listening to this podcast.
Without doubt.
But, Gareth, you've gone very muffled all of a sudden.
So have you.
What's going on, Guy?
I don't know. It's fine for me.
Gareth needs to get onto his IT department.
Let's hang up and go back in. Because that worked
That's what
last
she
time.
said.
Oh, dear.
Right then, mate. Hello and welcome to the Gamecentral Podcast number 10. I'm joined with, as usual, Guy Whitlock and Gareth Williams. Hi guys, how you feeling today?
I'm alright. I don't think Guy's in yet.
That's what she said. But she couldn't feel anything anyway, that's probably why she said it. You there, Guy?
What?
Yeah, there we go. So The Last of Us wins the BAFTA for the best game of last year. 2013 that would be. See, I'm quite intelligent when it comes to this sort of stuff. Guy, have you got round to actually playing it yet? There we go. But Gareth, I'm sure me and you know it was the best game of last year. As we said on the very first podcast, we didn't really know each other. We came along and straight away our minds unified. And we pulled that game out of the ether and declared that as our favourite game of last year, and I think it deserves all of the plaudits. Graphics, storyline, gameplay, everything basically. It swept the floor, and I think it is the future of gaming, and I cannot... I just done a bit of sick in my mouth. And I cannot wait for The Last of Us and see where they're going to take it next. But before that, we're going to have Uncharted 4. And, Guy, you need to start getting Uncharted games and stuff on your PlayStation 4 when you finally get around to buying one.
What?
Okay? And you, Gareth.
What? What have I done?
You haven't bought The Last of Us 2 yet.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm guilty of that. I hold my hands up. Fair game. Fair enough.
Loving you with all my heart's a crime, then I'm guilty. That was the #1 2004 hit from Blue, who was one of my favourite boy bands of the era. But talking of boy bands, we have a Japanese mascot who is very close to Guy Whitlock's heart. Guy, would you just like to tell everyone your favourite piece of Konnichiwa news, please?
Well, it's been revealed that Pikachu is Japan's mascot for the FIFA World Cup this year. Yeah, that was quite awesome.
And
well, it's not awesome. It's very, very sad, but I thought it was quite cool.
Guy actually knew this last week. Shigeru Miyamoto actually told him. But he was sworn by secrecy, weren't you, Guy?
I was. I think it's also important to mention that I think there's like I'm assuming there might be like some sort of anime-related tie-in because there's like a Pokemon football team made up. Pikachu's a team captain.
Obviously.
And then there's Meowth, Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle. And then the new ones no one cares about.
That's a bad football team.
That is.
That's not a bad football team.
Bulbasaur can't control a ball.
He has fucking vines. He can just carry the ball.
No, that's handball.
He can just carry the ball.
That's handball, Guy.
Oh, shit.
Well, if they come up against...
guys, like, you can't touch it with your hands in football. What?
Oh, shit. Were you the kid in PE, Guy, who wore the ankle-high... like white socks with really tight shorts and a vest, and everyone would be playing football, and you'd pick it up and go, "Oh, chase me!" and run halfway across the field, and then do a slam dunk in the goal because no one really explained to you the rules of football.
I was alright at football.
I doubt it. I was in
wouldn't you?
The popular guy. You know, the guys that could just play football naturally, and I would play with my friends, and you would always get that kid who tried to play, but you can always tell if the person isn't a football child because, you know, the way they kick the ball, the way they shape up to kick it. And Guy, I'd like to think that you're one of those children that just look awkward when trying to play.
No, I wasn't.
Are you left?
Okay, yes, I was. That was me. I was the kid that used to pick it up and then just run and throw it in the goal and then run off.
And everyone used to tell you to piss off.
And everyone used to nick my clothes when I was in the changing rooms and steal my phone and just
We're not
beat
talking
me
about
violently.
your prison years, Guy. We're talking about your school years, not what went on in the shower room. Right, so anyway, Pikachu. Pika! He wouldn't be able to survive a Zidane headbutt. So, anyway, Guy, do you know who Zinedine Zidane is?
Yes. I like football. What is this?
I like football. Please believe me. Guy, when did Zinedine Zidane do his infamous headbutt?
Oh, 2006.
Well done.
Well, there you go.
You didn't think I was going to get it, did you?
You do actually
I
like
did.
football, which really is a very nice thing for you to do. So, Pikachu, who would you like to see as your mascot, Guy?
What? As in just generally? Or
if you were a sports star, you were going in to be an athlete, and you was like, and representing Great Britain, ladies and gentlemen, Guy Whitlock, which would be like the mascot following behind you.
Wow. You put me on the spot like this, like every week, and
I do.
I never have an answer because I don't know.
I think it would be a kind of hybrid costume.
Yeah, it would. Go on. Let's all hear what Rob thinks. This will be really interesting and flattering. Yeah.
Of like Pudsey Bear and Jimmy Savile.
Excellent.
Which would be
excellent.
A contradiction of each other. But anyway, unfortunately, Nintendo boss Shigeru Miyamoto dropped his phone in the toilet and has to be sent away for repair. At least this is what he has told Guy. He has also told Guy that the estimated time for repair would be around 6 months or so, as he has to wait for an especially rare component part for his phone to be flown in. Unfortunately, this means that there will be no exclusive Nintendo news this week, but that Guy will be sharing with us is, what has Guy traded in this week? Guy is such a laugh with a cheeky sense of humour that I wonder what kind of anarchy occurred when he traded in this game. So Guy, did you actually trade in this week? And can you just tell us of the carnage that ensued?
You see, you say that jokingly, but it was actually a pain in the arse. I traded in Call of Duty Ghosts this week.
Whoa. Gareth, can we have some kind of good jingle going on in the background while he tells us this anecdote, which is obviously going to end with such a hilarious ending. It's going to absolutely blow people's eardrums. So if you have got slightly weak ears, or you have grommets, or you've had any ear troubles in the past, or you laugh very loud, you may want to just give this little bit of the section of the podcast a skip. It make you laugh.
I'll pick some music that'll undercut the sympathy we should all feel that Guy having a really hard time right now.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay, so I walked down to the shop somehow. I was kind of quite badly wounded, but I was determined to get there.
Is this with your friend? Sorry, the one that bought plants.
No. This was by myself. My friend was he was swimming this day.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, so you go to this game shop quite a lot, don't you, Guy?
I do.
There we go. Go ahead.
So I walked down to Game with my copy of Ghosts and, more controversially, Lego Marvel Superheroes to trade in. Gareth just exploded.
He inhaled, if anything. He didn't.
Okay.
Those two things are very similar.
Yeah, imploded, if anything.
Yeah. Well, I traded them in and got the in-store credit was £34, which was surprising. I don't think it'd be that much.
Yeah.
So I got £4 on the game gift card, and I asked for £30 PSN store credit, so I could skip home and buy Tales of Symphonia finally.
I bet you did actually skip as well.
Because on the PSN store that only costs £24, but in game it's £40 for some reason.
Interesting. A digital copy actually cheaper than in
so
store.
So I got home with my redeemable codes for my PSN store credit, and I went to put them on and noticed that they were Steam keys. The store clerk had made a terrible mistake.
Sorry, I just spat my tea out in my cup.
Why?
Oh god, they must hate you as well, or they're just terribly inept, as some game employees are.
So there wasn't long left before the shop closed, and I was annoyed. So I thought I'll take a walk, but I don't live close to the shop anyway. Like usually I actually live inside the shop because I'm homeless.
Yeah, there you go.
So in opening hours I don't really intend to leave. So I ran back down to the shop and I went to a different clerk this time and said, I've just bought this PSN credit, but they've given me Steam credit. And he was like, I don't know if we're going to be able to do anything about that. and I was like, excellent. No, he did. Because once the codes are activated, they can't do anything about it. So then the clerk who served me originally was like, yeah, I can sort this out. This is 10 minutes after she originally served me. She went...
Bloody hell, Garrett, right? If there's one thing you hate, it's women in game shops also serving you wrong.
She was also dressed as a Pikachu, quite infuriating.
Oh my god. Okay, so let me guess. Did she have like dyed hair, like kind of wacky?
Yeah, she wasn't really dressed as a Pikachu. I was just
No, but what I'm saying is,
no, she wasn't. Oh yeah, okay, no.
I'm so quirky. I like anime and stuff. Ooh.
Not really, no. She's a miserable bitch, really. She's always in there. I think she's like one of the managers, but she shouldn't be.
Go on, I don't know why girls don't like you, guys.
Yeah. So,
and why should it be in management?
That wasn't what I meant.
Oh, okay, sorry, guys, I just misread it.
So she was like, I can sort that. She went off and got her own bank card, and she re-put in like £30 PSN credit. And she was proper grumbling. She was like, "Oh, we can't keep taking money out of the till. I'm having to pay for this out of my own money. People should stop putting the stuff." But for some reason, even though this was literally 15 minutes after she served me, she seemed to think the guy that I was speaking to now was the guy that gave me the Steam credit in the first place. So she's basically proper digging at him, telling him to stop doing things wrong. And I'm just stood there, just like, this was your fault 10 minutes ago. It's been
why
10
did you tell
minutes.
her that guy?
Because I didn't want to,
Look for a woman.
Yeah, I didn't want to really have to communicate any more than I had to. I just wanted to go home and play Tales of Symphonia.
I can imagine. You just wanted the whole deal to be over with.
So they replaced my incorrect codes with my correct codes, and then she just sort of... she was just giving the guy the biggest evils I've ever seen, like the dirtiest look. And then on that happy note, I thought, what I should have done is taken the receipt with the Steam credit codes on as well as I was leaving. Just like snatched it off the counter and get free money on Steam as well. But
yes.
I didn't. Which I'm fairly sure, if they make that mistake, I reserve the right to do that.
Probably. Well, I don't know your rights, being a consumer in retail products, so you probably would have been right to do whatever you wanted.
Yeah, you get to keep your own receipt. Sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You should also have punched her in the face.
They also had like some Titanfall, like sort of a banner across the like sort of where the till is, and it was hanging at the Just My Eyeline site, and it was right over where you stand to get served. So I just had like a banner on my head, just stood there. It was a nightmare.
I normally have bubbles when I go into the game.
They saw you coming and lowered it, so they didn't have to look at your face.
Yeah, they literally saw you coming underneath the counter.
They didn't, because they didn't have any testicles, did I? They fucking took
Oh,
them.
yeah, I suppose. You can't. That's good. But anyway, Guy, that was a very interesting story and actually funny. So I apologise for my earlier kind of setup. Sorry that you had to go through that, but hopefully you're enjoying Tales of Symphonia. Didn't that come out on the Xbox years ago?
No, it was on the GameCube.
I'm thinking of Tales of Vesperia.
Yes, you are.
Bless me. Right, so anyway.
I didn't hear you sneeze.
Guy, you are actually on fire today. You got a fire extinguisher near you?
Oh, I have, but it's just out of reach and I'm still sort of stuck in bed. Despite my trip down to game the other day, I am now bed-bound by my injuries.
Bed-bound by your injuries. Right, so anyway, it is going to be an absolutely beautiful day tomorrow, Guy, for you. And I certainly mean it. But anyway. So that was, guys, what have I traded in this week? A very horrible story for him, and one that I'm sure a lot of us have had problems with in the past. I remember having problems with Game. Sorry, Guy, I just hate you so much. It's at the tip of my brain all the time. Game, especially when they used to Game Station, when they used to sell retro games, and I used to buy retro games, and I used to get the wrong game in the box, and I used to go home and start crying, and they used to take it back, and it was just awful. But anyway, we're on to our other usual piece now. What is on the back of the box that Rob's reading? Can you guess what the back of the box is just by what he's saying? It's the words that he's reading. He's not looking at the pictures, he's just reading words. And last week, we had an absolutely fabulous game. And you said you could probably guess what it was, Gareth. It was a new game from the makers of Guilty Gear series.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to say what I thought it was?
I'm going to ask you to say that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Is it Blaze Blue?
It is not Blaze Blue. It's actually Battle Fantasia, which is one of the worst beat 'em ups I've ever played in my life. I don't know if either of you have played it.
No.
What console?
Xbox 360.
No, I won't have played it then.
No, but basically, it's very camp, just so camp. Bright colours, castles, flowers, all of the characters are flamboyant. I just think, it's a strange game, and if anyone's played it, they can surely back me up there. But on to this week's game. Blank Blank is a high-octane shooter where everything in sight is yours for the taking. Choose between the wrathful swordsman, Juji Kabane, the relentless rock star, Rocket Billy Red Cadillac, or the undead hero, Blankety Blank. Now, I wasn't going to tell you the undead hero because you'd probably get it there. This is a sequel to a game that I love more than anything in the world, and a character who I also have sexual feelings towards. So if you know that, let me know so I can let you go.
Hi everyone, it's Gareth here with your weekly video game music segment. For this week, I asked our guest of the week what music they would like to hear, and they said to me, anything from Fez, which I am totally okay with, because Fez is a fantastic game with a superb soundtrack. So I'm just going to play you track 1 of the soundtrack. This is from Fez, and it's called Adventure.
So it's on to our guest this week, and this week's guest, known as Don Goss, or Sog Nod backwards, has been to a BAFTA preview event, but it is no longer a preview event as the BAFTA Game Awards have actually happened. So he now has the knowledge of his trip, and he is coming to share it with us. The one thing we must not discuss with Don is his fallout from the band Bros, originally intended to include all of the triplets, not just Matt and Luke Goss. Don is understandably raw about the subject and would appreciate it if we wouldn't bring it up. So, ladies and gentlemen, for all the latest goss-ip, here is Don Goss. So Don Goss is here for us today. Don, would you just like to say hello to us individually? My name is Rob. Say hi to me.
Hi, Rob.
Say hi to Gareth.
Hi, Gareth.
Hello.
And say hello to the Game Central Lives readership and listenership.
Hello, Game Central people.
So,
Brilliant.
right. Well, what's that, guy? Is there a problem?
Not at all.
Oh, I know what it is. You want to be addressed, don't you?
Not really, no.
I told you, Gareth, once set out on his all. I can hear dripping water.
This guy's whole.
We go. That's the problem, Guy. But anyway, Don, just to be polite and round it off, would you like to say hi to Guy Whitlock?
Yeah, if I have to.
There we go.
All right, Guy.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, Don, would you like to say an insult to Guy? Or would like Rory the week before last? Would you like to kind of save it up for the last bit?
Has he not had enough abuse yet? No?
No, not yet. He's getting a bit big for his boots, starting to think he can start making jokes and such.
That's surprising. You'd think he'd be a bit more withdrawn after eating all of his testicles.
You would think. They've withdrawn away from his body and are now in, believe it or not, Ripley's World Adventures. So, if you just want to say a little bit about yourself, Don, or if you want to remain an enigma, we understand, and just keep silent. Go.
Yes, I guess mid-30s, live in London, or just outside London. Been gaming for about 25 years, everything since original kind of Asteroids arcades and stuff. I've had pretty much every Nintendo console, PS1, PS2. Now I'm on an Xbox 360 most of the time. What else? That's about all there is to me, really.
I'm not sure whether he can be trusted because I hate to interject, but your Skype profile clearly says that you are currently in Dublin in the Republic.
It does, doesn't it? Everyone tells me that, but
and now you said you're in London. So which is it? If you're going to lie to us, you can't just come on here and.
Whoa! Look at Guy coming out fighting already.
That spare testicle has really grown, hasn't it? It's really stepped up to the plate.
It was normally quite quiet, but you know it's really making a name for itself now.
Come on, the other one was obviously holding it back.
Well, it's quite ironic that as soon as I lose my actual testicles, I seem to grow some balls.
There we go.
Isn't it? So
That is ironic.
no.
That is really nice. But Guy shares one of your passions in the first-person Criterion shooter by the name of Black, which happens to be one of his favourite first-person shooters.
Excellent. You have good taste, for once.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
No, it's just I think it's the first-person shooter game that it really captured a good, solid atmosphere for me. There was just dust kicking up everywhere, and you felt like you were just in danger all the time.
Well, the thing is, if you put it on your Xbox 360, if you buy the original Xbox version, it does still work and it looks great, and you can play it through HDMI, and it looks miles better than the PlayStation 2 version did.
Yeah, I mean the graphics on it were pretty awesome in the first place, but I mean I connect my PS2 up to my TV through a component cable. So
Yeah.
it doesn't work with HDMI, but it gets rid of all the ghosting, which you normally get on an LCD screen. But yeah, it's great. I love it.
And if I'm not mistaken, didn't it have some destructible environments and like objects and stuff?
It did.
Well, then it's already more advanced than the latest Call of Duty game. So
Oh,
I don't know why I'm insulting Call of Duty because I like Black Ops 2, but you know,
yeah, you pretty much do, don't you, Guy?
as a whole, I don't really like the series.
No, I've never got into Call of Duty. Not any of them.
There you go.
Yeah.
Not even Call of Duty 4.
Not even Call of Duty 4. Although, to be fair, I haven't even tried that particular one.
Wow.
I've tried a couple of Modern Warfares, but...
Yeah.
Not even Big Red 1.
It was tempting. Get it from a Wii.
Everyone's tempted by a Big Red 1.
You've also told me, Don, that you nearly died once after drinking a pint of homemade red wine. Is there any other sort of techniques or advice you could give Guy to kill himself?
Yeah, tie a rope around your neck and run really fast off the bridge.
Okay.
That'll definitely do it for you.
Should I tie the other end of the rope to anything, or
You don't, if
will
it's
it
high
just
enough
be enough?
bridge, if it's high enough bridge, you don't need to bother. Just.
all right?
Or
Seems a
tie
bit
it to your
superficial.
friend.
Then. I don't want to do this half-hearted.
Yeah.
Need to
Tie-
do the
Tie it
ins
to
and
your
outs.
friend. Tie it to your friend,
Oh.
guy, and kill two birds with one stone.
If you both jumped off opposite sides of the bridge, you might meet in the middle and kind of hit each other like a pair of conkers.
Yeah. There
That
you
would
go,
give
guy.
it.
Except
Something to
only
look at.
one of them will have a pair of conkers.
There we go. So you up for doing that, guy? Come back next week and tell us how it went.
I'll let you know
Excellent.
on next week's episode of Guy's Traumatic Life.
Oh, so you've already got another episode. This is what we're talking about, Don. He gets so far up himself that he's already got his own episode.
Well, it's not like there's anything in the way, is there?
No, there
fucking
isn't.
gaping hole.
He's planned his own spin-off series on his own already. Look at this. He's
There we
dumped a lot
go.
already. In his mind, he's off.
Just the sound of me crying. Crying
So
myself to sleep.
you're saying you've got a gaping hole, guy? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't think of the punchline to that. I was going to say something about and what about your newly formed vagina? Laugh. Edit that, Gareth, and then put laughs out again. Right. So, Don, you've also told us you've been known to physically assault people who put cinnamon in apple pie.
That's
Why
correct.
is that?
Because I fucking hate cinnamon. It's just
There we go.
disgusting.
Why specifically apple pie, though?
Because apple pie is my favourite dessert. And
Wow.
people, especially when I go to restaurants and you order apple pie and it doesn't say it's also got cinnamon in it, I lose it. It's horrible.
You physically assaulted someone at work. Restaurant.
It's no less than they deserve, to be quite honest.
Okay. And also at the end of your kind of getting to know you statement, you put,
Which I'm
I'm
regretting massively already.
yeah, and you kind of, generally nice fella, blah, 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 ended. And then afterwards you said, I'm also kind to animals, which probably means that you kill animals. And, you know, it's just, you feel the need to add that bit on at the end for no apparent reason.
No, I just thought I should...
What is...
I think I was trying to undo the physical assault section.
Okay, kind to
That
animals.
might be
People do
like-
yeah.
It is well suspicious, though, to say that. Like, at the end of Guy's CV, it says, oh, and by the way, I totally have two testicles. And then in an interview, they'll be like, we noticed this line at the end. Why would you put that?
It doesn't need to be added. Right, so we're going to go on to, now we've got to know Don a little bit better, we're now going to go on to what we've been playing this week. And we'll start off with you, Gareth.
I thought we were going to ask him about the BAFTA thing.
Yeah, that's kind of
But yeah.
the point.
Yeah,
You don't need to.
But-
It's fine.
I thought that's what we were going to end with.
Why?
Because it would
Why
have been
upset
nice.
the balance?
Right, all right.
We're
have a
interviewing
system.
him. It just seems like it makes sense.
We have a system and you just piss him off.
Right, sorry for going against the system. Gareth, if you just want to edit that out. So, Don, you went down to Tobacco Bay to preview a bunch of games that were going to be awarded BAFTA nominations. Do you just want to let us know what was going on in your mind?
In my mind, I was thinking, day off work, sweet,
Yes.
mostly. But no, it was all right actually. It was the BAFTA Inside Games showcase. It's basically takes place before the BAFTA awards themselves, and it's the first time they've done this. Just to put on some games, so the general public turn up, have a look, have a little play with some new games and some recent games. Just to, I don't know, interact with the public, I guess. You could also go to the actual BAFTA awards as well if you were up for buying a ticket, but I wasn't. So
How much were the tickets?
tickets for the actual awards themselves, which included the game showcase as well, was about 30 quid, I think.
Yeah.
But the tickets just for the showcase bit was 12 quid, but I got mine for free.
Here we go.
So I was kind of obliged to turn up because I'd won them for free. So thanks
Was
very
there an opportunity to buy toys and stuff? Was there merchandise there, or was it strictly just there for the games?
There was a little store, a little kind of Steam store there with a load of mostly DOTA stuff.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really interest me. But, So I kind of glanced at it as I walked past and went, "Oh, there's some Dota T-shirts. That's nice." I'm sure that was.
Were there morbidly obese people that smelled?
Yeah.
Yeah, there always is, isn't it?
Well,
It's like they have to do it.
After a while, it's the tobacco dock itself. It's I guess they used to dry the tobacco there once they'd imported it before packing it up. So there's it's like a load of almost like caves in a little system. So it's a little bit underground. So and each kind of game or each developer had a little room to themselves, and they set up a load of monitors and PS4s and Xbox Ones and stuff in each one of these. So,
okay.
But after a while of there being several people in each one, it did begin to whiff.
Yeah, that's the only problem I have with these things. I like going to Comic-Con and stuff. You'll be playing a game or something, and suddenly you'll get this kind of waft just go past you, and you look around, and there's a guy looking over your shoulder at the game you're playing, and you just feel like turning around and just saying to him, "Please, surely you must smell it." Like it's following you around.
They never do. They never seem to notice.
They never seem to notice.
It's confirming their conviction. They're just not going to admit to it at all.
And it's hard. It's the stereotypical gamer.
Yeah.
But we need them as much as they need us. The balance. So, Guy, did you say that you'd actually come up with some questions?
Not really.
Regarding the event?
No. My questions weren't regarding the event at all. To be honest. I didn't really specify that at any point that they were about the event. You've just
you just said I just come up with questions. It could be about anything. It could be. Like,
it was. They are literally about anything. It's not even questions. It's just it's nothing. Forget about it. We'll move on.
Do you want me to save the day?
Go on then, Gareth. Save the day.
So, what games did they have there, and what did you play?
Excellent.
That's a really relevant question, Gareth.
Okay. Better than did people stink? Because I'm pretty sure that's why Don went. To sniff people.
To sniff strangers. That's kind of like the hobby. Okay, so there's a few games there. Dark Souls 2 was down there. Murdered Soul Suspects, the new PS4 game. Infamous Second Son. Elite Dangerous. What else was there? Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes was there. Titanfall was there, and there was a kind of a little indie arcade section where some indie developers had to set up shop to showcase their latest bit of homebrew software. And there was a little Sega room as well, which I didn't really hang around in because it was just some weird kind of... It was a kind of a cross between a kid's creche and an arcade. It was a bit weird.
That sounds awesome.
In the Sega room. But there was nothing really of interest to me anyway in the Sega room, so I didn't really hang around in there. So
what was it Infamous like? Because I quite like the first
Infamous.
one.
Infamous.
Oh, Infamous. Like infamous. Sorry, Don, to offend you by pronouncing it wrong. Did you get a play of that?
Yeah, Infamous. It was all right. I mean, it's the best looking game that I got to play on. It definitely looks next gen, facial animation especially. Although after a while, you do kind of notice that the environment suffers from what a lot of games do at the moment as well, which is where they've got a city environment. It looks a bit decayed. The streets a bit torn up. Stuff's a bit worn down. But there's these perfect Matchbox cars driving around without a scratch on them, which just stick out a mile.
I don't like driving through this part of town in my lovely, pristine car. It's weird. Infamous, sorry, Guy, it's one of these games that you don't really know why it continues, but you still think, that could be potentially a good game if they get it right. Games like Resistance, Infamous, Prototype. There's just a few of these kind of games that are just so average, Killzone being another one, that you just wonder why they keep going, and you wonder how they keep going. But there's a good concept there. It just needs the right minds to bring it out. I mean, Infamous and Prototype, the originals, came out at pretty much the same time. And they pretty much had the same kind of ideas. But I do like the premise underneath it. But like I said, hopefully the PlayStation 4 can bring about what What? Yeah. Excellent. So
It
hopefully
can take
the PlayStation
it to the next place, so it actually makes it a
Thank you,
complete
Don.
game.
Or
Yeah,
the
I mean-
Ooh.
Sorry.
You're welcome. You don't have to apologise, Don. It's all right.
No, I was just going to continue talking about Infamous. Just going to say that it to me it still feels like a PS3 game or whatever. It just looks prettier. It has this kind of I've not played any of the previous games, so I don't know how they really compare. But
But this is the thing, isn't it?
it seems a bit vague. The kind of the mission
Yeah.
structure and stuff. It's like you now have to go and do this or find this person, and so you're going, well, I've no idea. I've got this whole city to wander around. I've no idea really how to find this bloke. And so you just want to wander around until someone shoots at you, kill all them, and then you're left on your own again, going, now what do I do?
But that's the problem with games. It's like we're in this new generation now, and everyone's saying, well, it feels like a last-gen game, blah, blah. At what point, what do we need to have presented to us, control-wise, or be it anything else, that we think, okay, this is next-gen, this is what it's supposed to be? You know, what is it? I don't know what it is. I don't know if anyone else knows what it is. We're all asking for it, but no one can kind of pinpoint what it is. And I think, obviously, playing Infamous, you know, you could still play that as a PlayStation 3 game. But what is it that we're going to do, or what's going to be presented before us that makes us going to think, wow, this is the next gen? And I don't know what that's going to be.
No, I completely agree. I got the same kind of impression from Murdered Soul Suspect as well. It kind of looks like a PS3 game, but it just plays on them as well, like other games you might have played, where you kind of you can inhabit other people, you can see what they see, and you can talk to people and do exploration and stuff, because you're a ghost. But there's nothing that kind of you go, well, that couldn't have been done previously. It's just another story. And all the devices they're using for it, the ones that were available anyway, the demo kind of ended after a little bit. And the screen would just go black, and they'd say, it doesn't go any further than that, we have to stop.
And that's the thing. And Gears of War was kind of the first next-gen, like last-gen game that made me think, wow, this is it. But that's only because like the graphical leap, the feeling of control, and also playing it on a HD TV maybe made it go up a notch, or several notches, from playing like Project Gotham Racing 3 on a CRT television. You know, it was that moment, and that was because it had the help of, as I say, a HD TV to give it that extra clout that really made me think, wow, this is next gen. It's now finally here, but I don't know what that's going to be this gen.
I do.
I still don't know. What? Go on, Gareth.
It's going to be Super Smash Brothers Wii U.
Oh, my God.
The best game of 2014.
Brilliant.
Smash it.
There we go.
Well, you got it in.
Well, second best after Earth Defense Force 2025.
2020. 2025. But that's just regional accents, and I'm sorry, Gareth, if that come across as a little bit racist.
Sorry.
Cheers, mate. Right, so, Guy, you said you did actually have some questions. Can you just tell us one of those questions now? Because I want to see if it actually fits into any kind of context.
I can tell you one of those questions.
Excellent, let's go.
3 short words. Oblivion or Skyrim?
Oh, dear.
Neither. I haven't played either. And I don't intend to either.
I think if there was ever a time for Oblivion lovers and Skyrim lovers to team up against the greater evil, it would be now.
The greater evil of just total indifference.
But I think someone like Don would be a great kind of judge, because he hasn't got like the rose-tinted spectacles of thinking one's better than the other. If he just sat down with both as kind of coming in new to it, then he could kind of have no bias. So maybe Don should do that for the great good.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that with my summer holiday. I'll sit down and play both.
No, you can't wait till the summer. This is important. We need to know your opinion.
Do it now.
Do it right now.
Do it this week, and then we'll
this
speak to you again next week, and you'll have answers.
And I want
I
to
will pay you to say Oblivion.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, but he hasn't told you what he'll pay you in.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You could be the first one to use his.
It will probably. It will just be a jug of like secretion from.
There we go.
Oh.
Oh my god, guy! That's just sick. What's wrong with you?
A jug is so much.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
What was that noise you just made, Gareth?
That was Don. It sounded like the clicking of a predator, didn't it?
I don't think that was me.
Oh, what was it?
We'll never
Gareth
know.
just like I physically heard Gareth shudder.
Well, it wasn't a nice image that you just conjured up, was it?
I pictured it like almost like a pint of Guinness,
Oh.
but in a jug.
I picture it as, you know, like when your mum, not your mum, like I'm not insulting her. When your mum used to make like a leg of lamb and she used to empty the fat out into a container, and it used to have like that white sort of fat crust on it, and then underneath it would be like liquid. I kind of imagine it. Don, do you want to imagine what his pus is like?
Trying hard not to, but
Yeah.
It's.
Guy, I can't even remember what your original question was. But anyway, Don, you get onto that. You play Skyrim or Oblivion. Tell us what one you think's best, coming from someone that's just playing them for the first time. No preconceptions. Which is the better, gameplay-wise and story-wise? We're not expecting you to play them for like 100 hours. We're just like literally, that's better than that, obviously.
We'll just plug them in to see which one has the best title sequence, and
Yeah.
pass judgment straight away.
Guy, can you actually sing the intro theme to Oblivion?
I can't offhand.
Well, you're not much of a fan then, are you? Never again, never again, So that proves that Skyrim is actually better than Oblivion. So, guys, okay with you now if we go on to what we've been playing, darling?
Yeah.
Sure.
Brilliant.
Not any more of these carefully prepared questions. You obviously took a long time writing.
There is another one.
Oh, here we go. There's another before we move on, Don.
Rob or Gareth?
There we go.
Fuck, marry, kill. Us three.
It depends on the usage of what I'm going to be using for.
You have to be stuck in a room with one of them for the rest of your life.
Wow, this
Jesus
sounds like
Christ.
a threat. This sounds like some kind of elaborate saw stunt that Guy is preparing.
God, Guy's really gone to the dark side since that incident last week, hasn't he? It's awoken
You
something.
know, getting your balls and your penis ripped off by some doctors is
Yeah,
very
it
eye-opening,
really makes
and
man, doesn't it?
it rips you apart. It breaks a person.
Yeah.
So,
Right, Guy.
That Rob hasn't asked me about the quiet cosplay that was going on.
I don't think it matters. There are more important questions that you still haven't answered.
Guy, your questions are not interesting. They're like, do you prefer lamb or chicken?
I'm trying to plan elaborate revenge here, and you're making it very difficult.
Well, don't do it with us involved. Like, we're not supposed to know.
Well, you didn't know until Don didn't answer the bloody question.
Well,
Don had just answered the question. Now I'm going to have to kill all of you.
Your bloody plan is locking Don away forever with one of us playing Skyrim or Oblivion.
I'll go with Gareth just to throw you a screwball. There you go.
There you go.
Excellent.
There's Gareth.
Also,
So I get to walk away free.
It's nice, but also simultaneously horrific.
Creepy.
That's not very nice. Don seems like a nice guy. At least you won't be stuck in a room with Rob for the rest of your life.
And, to be
Whoa.
fair,
No
Gareth
one
would
would
look
want
like
that.
a woman from the back. So that's always a plus.
That's clearly why he picked me.
That probably is why he picked you, Gareth.
It
You
did
know
cross
that.
my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the quality of cosplay on offer, Don, is it nice, or would it have infuriated Guy?
It was Guy would have been quite happy for a while, especially with they had some Metal Gear Solid 5 cosplay going on. They had and a Dark Souls 2 one. They had a guy wandering around in a helmet with a big axe,
Nice.
Oh,
a big chopper.
yes.
Guy.
Just Guy. I don't have to say anything anymore, just his name.
Just his name. We all know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Metal Gear Solid 5 cosplay. I don't know if they'd been hired to be there or they just spontaneously turned up. I don't think anyone was really sure, but there was a big queue. People wanting to get their pictures taken, mostly with Quiet, I suspect. Because, I mean, we've all seen her outfit and, yeah. I mean, even Kojima turned up at one point.
What?
Did he?
Yeah, I think I was playing Infamous at the time because I didn't see him, but he turned up to the Metal Gear Solid stand, had a picture taken with a bunch of fans and the cosplayers, and then wandered off into the darkness again.
Again, he lives there. That's back in the days.
Just lives there in these little caves.
Yeah, just wandering off into the darkness again.
Working away. But yeah, I mean, Quiet was good. They had a guy dressed up as Big Boss, and weirdly, they had this really tall girl dressed up as Raiden from Metal Gear Rising, and she looked to be the most uncomfortable cosplayer I've ever seen, just because of her costume looked like it was made of spikes. Just all the fingers that were all kind of sharp, and about 50,000 different pieces of equipment. What if she was uncomfortable?
Yeah, she's a human. You can ask.
Yeah, you should have gone up to her, right up to her face, and said, "Are you uncomfortable?"
Do I make you uncomfortable?
Yeah, and then got a bit closer each time.
Would you want to be locked in a room with me for the rest of your life?
That's the sort of thing Guy would say. Can I just ask you a question? Who would you prefer to be locked in a room with for the rest of your life? Can I have your number? There you go.
And at that point, yeah, and that's when Quiet goes and changes her outfit quietly in the background, so...
Which was rude.
It was rude, but she's going to defend herself from people like Guy. She had to do something.
There we go. Do you prefer Maltesers or Ripple? Stuff like that. Do you prefer salt or pepper? He's probably writing these all down, thinking, "Oh, these are quality. I'm going to use these next time I go out on the pool." Right, so we are going to be talking about what we've been playing this week. I have been to Great Yarmouth, so obviously I have been playing with a lot of arcade machines. Arcade scene is dying, as everyone knows, and judging by the amount of Time Crisis 4 arcade machines, that's still the case. The only new one I'd played was a new Batman one, and even that wasn't very good. You picked your Batmobile from all the iconic Batmobiles. I picked the Michael Keaton Batmobile, as that is my favourite. Guy, favourite Batmobile, go. Gareth, favourite Batmobile, go.
I like the Camp 70s one.
Don, favourite Batmobile, go.
Michael Keaton from the first Batman.
Michael Keaton isn't actually a Batmobile. He was. So what is your actual favourite Batmobile?
The one from Batman the movie.
Excellent. Guy, you back with us?
I like the one from Dark Knight.
No,
it does that cool thing where it detaches into the bike.
I thought you were a hipster.
Yeah,
That cool, impossible
What?
thing where it attaches and turns into
A
a bike.
hipster? What?
that's
Since
even a
when?
Batmobile.
Since when
So
did
anyway.
you think I was a hipster?
Since you're like, the older game's better, you have to play the original.
That
You
doesn't
can't play
make
the
me a
sequel.
hipster. That means I have good taste. There's a difference.
That's what a hipster would say.
No, it isn't. Hipster would say, "Look at me. I'm a hipster."
You just said it. Oh,
I
boom!
didn't.
Boom! I've got you dead to rights. Yes.
Oh, because you're going to edit that and make. Oh, you're.
Of course I am.
He has the power of editing. So he can make you say whatever he wants. So I played that, the Batman game. It controlled pretty dreadful.
What was it? What kind of
It
game?
was basic. It was like a combat kind of car game where you had to drive the Batmobile around and just shoot like the Joker's henchmen and stuff like that as you were driving.
What?
It was pretty awful.
Batman doesn't shoot people.
No, but he was shooting the cars and making them explode.
What? That's slightly dangerous.
That is highly dangerous. He didn't seem to care for anyone in the road either. It was just not a very good game. It felt good, like being in like the kind of shell of the Batmobile, or Michael Keaton, as Don likes to be when he plays his games. But I just, I punched one of those punching bags in front of a few females. That's all. Basically, it's just there to get money off dickheads. That's all arcades are for now. They're not for like playing games and being good at it in old Street Fighter 2 tournaments where people would crowd around a machine and play one after the other and show expertise beyond the wildest dreams and combos. It's basically so knobheads like me walk past, their girlfriend goes, "Oh, I really like Monsters Inc." That's not how my girlfriend talks, by the way. "I want you to get me that green-eyed boy called Mike." And then you put like £5 in the grabbing machine and it goes, and then like the limp claw just falls on the floor, doesn't do anything, and goes back up. Then you'll come along and you'll come across the punch bag that's like £1 to punch it, and then like another guy goes in your group, "Oh, I could smash that well, I'll probably break it." And then you go, "Oh, I'll break it."
Oh, what the hell?
I don't know what that is.
It's a gentle breeze blowing somewhere.
Is that the Yarmouth breeze? Have you gone back there?
I think it's the Don breeze.
Don't know. I haven't heard any.
Right. Here we go. And you punch that, and then it just takes your money, and you're like, "Okay, I've just punched that and given the machine £1." And I didn't really like it.
It's like a pimp simulator.
It is basically. It's trying to make you feel good about yourself, but you just lose money, and then you realise I haven't actually played any games. I've just literally just thrown money in machines and wasted my life, basically. So, Guy, what have you been playing this week?
I've been playing Tales of Symphonia, finally, like 8 or 10 years or something later than it originally came out.
Yeah.
And as far as I can tell, it still holds up quite well.
Did you
Sort of
play
just,
South Park after all?
I can report it lost tomorrow, and then I can start getting another copy sent. Finally,
Wow.
Not that I even care anymore. The moment's gone. I might just get a refund and get it in like a month or two when it's a bit cheaper.
That's fair enough. But Tales of Symphonia,
It's
right? People are going to be waiting for your review. before
they're
they
not
go
because everyone's already played it that would be interested. I'm like the last person to not play it. I mean, I haven't played it much either because that was only Saturday. I got it Saturday evening.
Well, how about you try and convince
so-
people that may not have heard of it before?
No, it's just a sort of typical Tales game.
Excellent. What about people that have never played a Tales game before?
They should probably go play one. I'm not gonna make a fool of myself describing things badly anymore.
Well, you just did.
I did.
I don't understand. Right, so you played something else, have you, Guy?
And I've been playing Pokemon Link Battle as well.
Excellent.
I
Does
think
that-
Pokemon
I
battling
think
Link
I
like
am
in
the-
Super Smash Brothers. Oh, that sounds awesome.
It's more like Bejeweled, but yeah. I know it's good. I think I am the only person in the world that has downloaded it, but it came out on the eShop last week, and it's just a bit like Bejeweled, but with Pokemon.
And what is Bejeweled like, Guy?
Oh, come on!
For people that haven't played Bejeweled, because you say that, and I haven't played Bejeweled, so it doesn't mean anything.
How have you not played Bejeweled?
By not playing it.
You just have a grid of tiles made up of various objects, and you switch.
Like what
to...
kind of object?
Oh well, that's dependent on the game and the theme.
An
isn't it?
iron? A door?
Well, if it was, no, I was gonna say something sexist then, but I'm not gonna.
Oh dear, that's not like you.
I
is
was
it?
stopped. No, it's not, because most of the time it's just you taking things out of context. Or
Okay, that's fine. So just
don't take that
explaining
tone.
Bejeweled, please.
Don't take that tone that says I'm getting a defensive over nothing. I'm in
You're
denial.
not getting defensive.
I am
I'd
getting
just like you
defensive.
to
You're
explain
making me get
how
defensive.
Bejeweled plays.
But you were asking me stupid questions. I was describing it, and then you were like, "Well, what objects?"
You said
I've already
defensive
specified it's
objects.
dependent on the fucking theme of the game, isn't it?
I didn't know-
Bejeweled, it's jewels like diamonds and
Okay,
rubies
Jules.
and stuff like that. With Pokemon Link Battle, it's Pokemon.
Excellent.
I have
There
a
you go.
question.
Great.
So there are like 600 Pokemon,
There
Wouldn't
are
that be an
700, there are
impossible
actually
game?
718 Pokemon. No, because there's not really an endless mode. It's like there's stages, zones and stages, and each level has about five or six different Pokemon, and then you can. There's quite a sort of complex system behind it, where each stage is actually like a Pokemon battle, and the first first Pokemon you match is like it's that type that the attack is. And then it's quite complex, really.
Is it like
unnecessarily
Puzzle
so.
Quest?
I think so.
It sounds similar.
But I quite like it. It's quite good. It's quite addictive. Until you get like halfway through and suddenly there's the most ridiculous difficulty spike, the likes of which I've never seen before in my life.
Not since Bioshock Infinite have you played such a difficult game.
You are an arse.
Whoa. There we go, Guy. And that is what Guy Whitlock's been playing this week. On to Don. We would like you to talk to us about what you've been playing, Don. Try and make it more interesting than Guy's.
Well, I've just finished last week Halo Reach and Azura's
Can you
Wrath.
just explain to Guy what that means?
What that means is I played through every single level until I got to the last one, and then I completed that last one as well.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then the credits roll, and it says the end. That's how you know you finished the game.
Brilliant. Is you alright with that, Guy?
Yeah, I'm good with that. Thanks.
Brilliant. Please continue, Don.
So yeah, so Halo Reach, Azura's Wrath, because they were in the Xbox Gold sale the other week. Quite Azura's Wrath, I quite like the anime, so and the graphics on that are pretty awesome.
Love it.
But that's not very good, though, is it? Really?
What?
It's a bit. You have to have some real suspension of disbelief to play that game.
What?
Yeah, but that's what games are, isn't it?
Oh yeah, but no,
What
because me and my mate were playing the demo of it. My imaginary mate were playing the demo of it the other week. And there's a bit where there's like a giant Buddha and you kill it, and then just when you think it can't get any more ridiculous, there's like another Buddha that is bigger than the Earth, just floating in space next to the Earth, and goes to poke you to death. And somehow you hold up this like giant stone finger that is like the size of the world. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
And that's when you said, right, that's it. This is not in keeping with the realism that I see in everyday life. I'm going to turn this demo off and let it never darken my doorstep again.
Yes.
And then you go and play Pokemon Link or something. These furry creatures, they're like the creatures I see in my everyday life. All 710 of them. I'm going to carry on playing this. Yeah, whatever. I killed 8.
Azura's Wrath's so good.
So many quick time events.
Not really.
There's a lot of fighting in it as well. Plus, it's just a good kind of story. If you're into anime and Japanese stuff, then it's awesome.
Yeah, I heard that the DLC for it is like awesome.
Well, one of the two, I got the kind of the DLC kind of the kind of 0.5 episodes that kind of happen where there's bits that happen in between two of the episodes that you don't see during the regular game. Mm-hmm. And they're kind of done in a slightly different style. They're pure QuickTime events, and they're done in a kind of it's not the normal animation from the game. It's kind of proper kind of cartoon anime kind of art style. But there's some other downloads you can get for it, which are actually fighting games like Street Fighter 4. You get Ryo and Akuma, and you actually have Street Fighter 4 type battles with them.
Wow.
I remember that.
Which is a nice little. Makes a change from the boring, usual, just more level DLC.
Yeah.
How much did you pay for that on the Xbox sale?
Christ, I can't remember. I can't remember, $4.99, $5.99, something like that.
That's not too bad, is it? That's like the price of a arcade game. So if you get that, you're laughing.
Stacking some pennies in. But yeah, it's no, I enjoy it. It's good. But yeah, I finished that and reached. Now I've moved on to Bioshock Infinite. Which I just started last night. So I've not got very far into it.
But you will come up against a near impossible odds at the end.
Did you skip the spoiler section last week?
I did, yes.
Okay.
Oh.
But you just
What
started
do you mean?
playing it.
Like you're disappointed you didn't spoil the game.
Yeah, I am.
When I just listened to the end.
Oh. Bless your heart. If you listened to the ending, you wouldn't have had to play it, Don. You wouldn't have had to waste your
I could
time.
have saved myself.
And Gareth
all
did
those
give the
hours.
most in-depth run-through of a game ending I've ever heard.
Yeah, I went a bit extreme, but it gives you something to go back to and listen to.
Exactly.
10 years' time, somebody's going to complete Bioshock Infinite and go, I'm going to listen to that podcast now, finally. I can listen to it all the way through.
Yeah, uninterrupted.
Excellent.
Gareth has also been playing games this week, haven't you, Gareth?
I've played one game this week.
Would you like to tell us what it is? Or is it a secret?
Guess the game Gareth's been playing.
Yeah.
The game I've been playing is Earth Defense Force 2025.
Wow. I only played Earth Defense Force 2020, 2022, and 2023. There's so many of them. I just can't keep up, Gareth. That was a joke, of course. Yep. It's actually set in the year 2025. And is that a year that you'd like to still be alive, Gareth?
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Hopefully.
That'd be alright.
Yes. So I'm a fan of Earth Defense Force. Waiting for it to come down in price a little bit. How much did you pay for it?
Well, me and my friend, we went halves on it because we only play those games in co-op. So it's like £17 each. We bought it last Wednesday, and in 2 days we had played 20 hours worth of that game.
Wow. So it's a big game.
Yeah, the 2017, which is sort of the predecessor to this, had 50 levels, and this game has 85 with a further 40 as DLC. So they just crammed so much into it.
Yeah, so is this going to be the game that us fans have been waiting for? Can you recommend it?
I think so. It is for me anyway.
Even full price?
Maybe not full price. It depends how into it you are. Me and my friend are way into it. And we played a shit ton of 2017 as well, so...
Yeah.
We have a pretty strong fandom. It's the same friend I play all my Borderlands with, so we'll pour loads of money into Borderlands, play that together. We'll do the same with this. We'll just do that.
It's an action game, isn't it? It's
yes.
Like no, look, that wasn't just a random, pointless question.
No.
Wow,
Jesus.
well done,
but I was saying,
Thanks.
like, this is a fucking action game. This is the action game, in my opinion.
This is just...
As a fan of
Yeah,
Dynasty
that's
Warriors, that I am,
Uh-huh.
because I don't have the brain capacity to do more than mash 2 buttons repeatedly for 15 minutes at a time. Would you recommend it to me? Because I was thinking about getting it, but...
Well, it's better with a friend, though, Guy, so...
God damn.
It's really good, though.
You can just draw a little face on your testicle, Guy, and he can be your friend.
Yeah.
The doctors wouldn't let me have them back, I tried.
Whoa, there we go. He's having flashbacks. But the thing is...
Next week I'll just have descended into like even more mentally unstable state. I've just sewn like ping pong balls onto my crotch.
Well,
Just in an attempt to like... Oh
come
god,
back with him.
it's not funny because it's true.
to sort of seriously address your question, Guy, if I may, there is online in this one. This is the first one to have proper online, so you could just team up with strangers and kill the shit out of everything, which would be
But
fun.
even they won't play with him, though.
Everybody on Xbox Live just has him banned.
Oh, it's Xbox Live? Is it on PS3?
Oh, yes, I forgot
Oh.
you were part of the inferior race.
He's not completely banned on PSN.
Alright. I don't know why you...
What?
I don't know. I didn't have anything to say.
Guy,
I'm getting a bit carried away now.
Gareth,
Yeah.
your friend who you play these co-op games with,
Mm-hmm.
would you be hurt if you found him playing online with someone else?
He doesn't really play things online.
Unless it's with you.
Well, no, he doesn't play online ever. He hooks his
he
Xbox
actually-
up once
he
to
comes to
download
you.
Resident Evil 5 downloadable stuff. But yeah, we'll
Because
play
I
next
was-
to each other.
What if you found out he'd been playing online with, I don't know, me?
With you?
Yes.
Well, he exists,
Someone
so
will
that's
eventually.
impossible.
Mark my words.
But what I was going to say is I was playing Resident Evil 5 with one of my friends, and we were doing the co-op campaign together, and I got home from work and I turned my Xbox on to find that he was playing it with someone else. And I don't know if it's because I'm mentally unstable, but I felt like a jealous rage. And I said, you were supposed to be playing it with me. Now you've gone a bit further into the game. And he's like, it's all right, Rob. Like, I can still come to the point where you were playing it. I said, but no, you've seen what happens after now. You've been playing it with someone else. You've enjoyed the story with them. Don't worry about it. And I completed it on my own.
Yeah, I had that with Borderlands 2 a bit, but I got over it pretty quick.
I'm still bitter about it now.
Oh.
Can't tell.
I had that with every game because...
You don't complete them.
Well, and that. And the swimming pool is always open 24 hours a day. So.
Presumably.
Yeah.
That's just what they tell you.
You know, I'm starting to wonder whether they really are swimming every time when they say they are. I have a sneaky suspicion.
They definitely are.
They're just getting in the bath and thrashing around when you ring. Like, no, we're in the pool, mate.
We're in the pool, listen. Right, so that concludes today's Game Central podcast, number 10. So we're officially in double figures. We'll never be in single figures ever again, which is quite sad, isn't it?
A little bit.
A little bit. Guy, are you sad that you'll never be in single figures again?
Yes.
Apart from his testicle.
There we go. That will always remain gone. So from me, goodbye.
I knew that was going to happen.
Guy, now you say from me goodbye.
Goodbye.
Now Gareth.
From me, it's goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me.
Well done, Don. You were the only person who took their own initiative there.
Thanks. I've been working on that for a while.
And there we go. Right, so join us next week for podcast 11, which will be coming to you live from heaven, which is quite good. I've actually got
the gay nightclub. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Until then, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
The Gamecentral Podcast. Hadouken!
Look at me. I'm a hipster.